What if I told you that most companies have core values that don't mean anything? And also, what if I told you that there's a core value that I believe that could change most companies and actually mean something? I believe that answer is curiosity. I believe curiosity should be a core value of every organization, every company that wants to truly innovate, grow, change, how you work, how you think, and how you connect with your team. But here's the reason why most core values fall flat. They're words on a page, in the employee handbook, on the website. You might even have them stenciled on your wall or in a poster. But I guarantee you, if you ask majority of your staff, majority of your team, to name all your core values and how they see them implemented throughout the entire day, you'd either get one of two responses, in my opinion. It would fall flat and not really have an answer at all. They'd give you a bunch of fluff. I've actually worked with a few organizations that really espoused integrity as their core value. I mean, they would bring it up at any point they could that we're an organization that values integrity. It's one of our core values. And then I would point out, for one of these organizations, I pointed out that they had a marketing practice that was incredibly deceptive. And the answer I got back from the CEOs was, but it works. So he was willing to trade integrity as something that was got a lot of negative responses and it was viewed negatively because it worked. It was effective in the marketing tool. I worked with another where I actually was a consultant for them, and some things fell apart in our agreement, and there was a blatant part of the contract that they had to compensate me if certain things happen, and they reneged on that. And despite all this nomenclature and talk of being full of integrity, they ended up not being willing to pay me for these services I rendered because they actually realized that they're going to have to pay me more because I was so successful than they originally thought. That's not integrity. So I want to challenge each and every one of you to look at curiosity as a potential core value for your organization. See, this is why curiosity is different. Most core values are static. Integrity shouldn't, right? It should, be how we act, but it tends to be static. It doesn't empower people. It doesn't really change how we act in most instances, as I gave those examples before, where curiosity is really about how we act every single day. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it's about how we think as leaders, as managers, as employees. It's about how we operate up and down, left and right throughout the organization. And it's also about how we connect as a culture, how managers treat staff, how staff are involved in the operations and play a meaningful part in them. I really do believe that one of the biggest components that really showcases how curiosity can be such a powerful core value for organizations and companies is the culture side of things. When you create a curious culture, what that does is allows the flow of information to happen throughout the entire organization. We all have worked at organizations that are hierarchy, that's above your pay grade, or siloed, that's not your job, stay in your lane. But true curious organizations recognize that every single person in your organization has a unique perspective on what the organization does and how it does it. And what that does is create this psychological safety that allows people to speak up, to speak out. If they see a problem happening, if they see something inefficient, they know they can go to their boss and point it out. If they have a new idea or solution to a problem, they can go to their boss. They can even go to another team and say, hey, look, I'm seeing this happen from my perspective, and I believe we made a few changes, we'd be a lot better. And this isn't just words. This is a culture that these other people, that hearing this information, hearing the problems, hearing the solutions, accept that. Doesn't mean every idea gets taken up, right? I'm not suggesting that. But it allows for this free flow of information, the free exchange of ideas that can truly turn every organization into an agile development type of atmosphere where problems are solved real time and new solutions are formed. A great example of a leader coming into an organization and changing the culture and bringing a curious culture to the team was Microsoft. I think that the current CEO came in around 2013, but Microsoft, look, it's still a big company. We all know Microsoft Office, et cetera, but it had lost its innovative edge. It wasn't quite that tight that it used to be. And the new CEO came in and immediately broke down the silos, broke down the hierarchy, really invested in a culture that encouraged people to speak up and speak out. It brought innovation back. It brought experimentation back. It brought back new ideas. And because of that, Microsoft's value, In the stock market, its capital skyrocketed. It is no longer that same company. It really reemerged kind of like a phoenix out of the fire. It has done so much more the last 7-8 years as it went to more of an enterprise direction, all because the CEO came in and ultimately changed not what they were doing day to day, but the culture and how they did things. So once again, I really do advise each and every one of you to consider adopting curiosity as a core value. If this is something you're interested in, please reach out to us. We have some workshops we can do. We can walk you through this. We can help you and your team see the value of curiosity in your organization to truly help you innovate, grow, and change.